Hey, Road Warriors and Care Crew. Welcome to the Care in Motion podcast, the new home for the home health clinician. We're going to talk through stories and tips around safety, efficiency, clinical issues, and career pathways, all from the perspective of a few road warriors just like yourself to provide their insight. Our goal here is that you'll find this weekly podcast helpful, relatable, and interesting, but most importantly, wildly entertaining during your daily drive. Welcome to this week's Care in Motion podcast. I'm Dan Haggerty. I'm so excited to be here with everyone today. And we are short Dan because he is on spring break, but I did get a chance to talk to him. He's doing well in Maine. But we've got Brendan and Lisa, and I think the three of us can we can come up with something for 20, 30 minutes, right?
We can hold down the fort. Did you say Dan's in Maine?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so jealous. That's where I went to PT school.
I thought you just said you went to University of Nevada at Reno.
My undergrad.
Oh.
I did grad school in Maine.
You've covered quite a,
I'm all over the map. Yeah, Nevada, Maine. Moved here from Virginia, now in Texas.
How many states have you been in?
That's why you do home health, because you just keep traveling.
You just go. Go with the flow.
Exactly.
Yeah, so he's on vacation, and actually tomorrow I'm going to drive in the car for 5 hours with the family to get to Jacksonville, and then drive another 4 hours to get to Tampa, where I'm going to be spending the next week working and hanging out with the family on spring break. So hopefully you guys have something fun planned for spring break.
Oh, our spring break was like 3 weeks ago.
I forgot Texas.
And you say, oh, I'm going to go drive for 5 hours. And my little home health heart is like, oh, like I drive for 4 or 5 hours every day, it seems. So,
yeah.
No fun.
Spring break's happening now here. And it's me working. They're having whatever they want to do. So,
yeah.
So you're working through spring break?
Mm-hmm.
So the whole family's at home, and you're just gone all day.
I'm just gone.
That was me too. But I think speaking of being in our cars all the time, that's kind of the topic of our conversation. Is what are the essentials that you as a clinician or that we need to have in our cars, right? Because I spend probably 40%, 30% of my day in my car, my work day. I feel like I'm in there all the time. Even if I'm not driving, I'm just sitting in a parking lot. I was sitting in a parking lot yesterday for 30 minutes, just documenting before I could see my next patient. So do you, Brendan, have anything specific that you have to have on you or that you keep in your car?
A giant water bottle. It's essential for me. It's a gallon size.
How giant?
Oh, this thing is massive. It looks like a mini missile. I'll have to bring it on next episode. Maybe we can show it the group. But yeah, I mean, first of all, you need to stay hydrated. We talk to our patients about staying hydrated and everything, and you never know how hot it is. And I mean, the one thing for me in home health, I always pack my own lunch just because I don't know what the day will kind of bring for me, and it saves me time. And I know, as I'm going between patients, I have a snack here or there. They kind of keep me going and keep me energized. But for me, that's been something really important. Is just to have enough water, and then also just having a food in the car is one of the most important things I always have every single day. I don't like taking stops or extra trips that are not necessary to be efficient and effective. So I can get home and enjoy spring break a little bit with my family when I do have the availability.
So for the folks that are listening, obviously you're not going to be able to ever see this, but I hope you do bring this water bottle onto the next episode so that people can see it. I've seen it personally, and it makes me wonder, when that's the very first thing you suggested that is important to you as a home health essential. Do you have a trailering kit with a porta potty behind you, or how do you handle that?
Yeah, we got everybody has their pit stops. You have your certain locations where hey, this is high quality bathroom territory, or this is where that porta john is, or this is all the stops. Hey, supermarkets are great. There's restaurants. You know the cleanest bathrooms around in town, so
Yeah.
take advantage of them.
To say, so Brendan and I are the opposite in what he just said, and I carry my like 25-ounce water bottle and barely finish it, and I never pack a lunch. So I don't usually use the bathroom, and I feel like males have an unfair advantage in home health that you can much easier use a patient's bathroom because you don't have to touch anything, you don't have to sit down, you don't have to worry. I think about a lot of the things that females do when I have to use somebody's bathroom. So even if it was like an emergency, you're like, I'm gonna just, I need to go. You could go and
Brendan's like, wait, you don't have to sit down?
Well, or squat, or whatever we do in there. But I think we all, as a home health clinician, we all have our, preferred bathroom stops. Mine, and, in Texas is HEB. They have great bathrooms. And I really enjoy Lowe's because their bathrooms are like up front, and like Home Depot is more in the back. And there's no one ever in the female restroom during the day at Home Depot or Lowe's.
There you go. See?
And Starbucks just changed their bathrooms, so you have to be a customer now. Which kind of stupid.
Yes. You have to get the app.
Oh yeah, the like.
There should be an entire episode and discussion on creative finding the best bathrooms and mapping them out.
But anyways, back to essentials.
Yes. Yeah. So what else is in your car besides a 40-gallon water jug?
I also, the one thing that obviously we document all day, right? So it's making sure I have a versatile like multi-plug, so I can have all the cords that I need for either, like I have a work phone and I have a computer, and so it's making sure that I have those cords so that God forbid I forgot to charge, or I'm seeing multiple patients or whatever, and it's not keeping its charge. I have something to maintain that charge, because at the end of the day, we all want to get paid, right? So that's one of the other important things for me. And I guess like a third one before I turn the question back to you, Lisa, for me would also be just having extra clothes in my car, right? That's always an essential for me, right? Like having a change of outfit, an extra pair of sneakers, socks, because things happen, right? We go into environments or something starts to go wrong and there's an emergent situation, and it's probably best just to either dispose of all those materials that you were just wearing, or to bury them somewhere, or however, but it's always nice to have a change. Yeah, I would say most cases probably require burning because of what we've been through and how they get soiled, but hey, maybe not all of them, but I think my top three would be those things.
I've definitely had where I thought my charger was working when I plugged my tablet in at night, and I'm like running out the door and it's like 11%, and it's like no, because I will not work if I don't have a way to document. I'm like, I'm not going to the visit. I'm not doing a paper visit. I want the visit on me, or I'm not doing it. Like, period.
I want to be done when I'm done.
Yep. I want to be done when I'm done. I want to be able to document in my visit and get the majority of my documentation done in my visit. And so I'm like, if you want me to go see a patient last minute, you better put that visit on me, or else I'm not going. But so yeah, the charging cables. I do have a pair of kind of scrubs that I don't really wear anymore. So I have those like in the back of my car. I have my regular water bottle. I used to have in my old car, I had this like the gap protector thing. It was like between my driver's side.
Between the seat and the console?
Went in between the seat, and it was a little like storage bin. So it kept things from falling down, and my tablet fit in there real nice. But now when I got my new car, it doesn't have that option to put it in there. It has this big storage thing in the middle, but that was nice.
How do you do navigation?
So my old car didn't have a good GPS, so I got one of those like sticky phone holders that I really liked, and and then I changed it out and got one that went in the vents. But now I had like non-negotiables when I was getting a new car, and it was like good GPS navigation screen, and it was air conditioned seats.
So
nice.
It's amazing.
I used to have the navigation in the car, and I actually hated it. You know why? Because like to actually sit there and type or to get everything pulled, it just took forever. It's just so much easier to
Don't
type
you
it on
guys
the
just
phone
use
and
like
pull it up.
Google Maps or Apple Maps and just go through like?
I use Waze, and everything is saved.
Waze.
So normally I'm just like clicking and to go through and see all my people.
Oh, mine just hooks up to my phone. Like my phone screen goes on my nav. So I just do it on my phone, and
it's like Apple CarPlay. I got you.
CarPlay.
I got you. My car had like an actual navigation itself, like separate, where it wasn't connected to my car. I was like, yeah, this isn't fun.
Well, then you don't get traffic or anything. You gotta know what's happening with traffic.
True. So Lisa, let's just say like there's, I don't know, like you're not having the best of days. Is there, ever anything else that you need? I mean, like it's just like, hey, like I don't know, I'm not having the best day. I need this or I need. Is there anything else that you pack in your car just in case you need it for like those days?
Some ibuprofen.
I was gonna say, you're going like Prozac or
Xanax. So ibuprofen. I like if I'm really having not a good day, I'm either just trying to go home, or like I will take like a timeout break in a parking lot somewhere and like try and decompress. I did get a nice sunshade, and I've been starting to put that up when I park. And I don't know why I didn't think of that before, to just put my sunshade up while I'm sitting there in the parking lot. But I should get some like games or something. or I'll just really honestly what I do is I like zone out on zone out on Instagram.
Yeah, just call one of us.
Yeah,
or you can listen to Care in Motion. I mean,
you can listen to the podcast. Mm-hmm. I know when we met for lunch when I was in Austin, you said you had just left a really smoky, like a smoker's, your patient was a smoker or someone in the house was. What do you do?
Oh yeah, he was smoking outside next to me and was like laughing in on me. I was like, "Can you just put your cigarette out while I'm here? Like, there's no need for that."
How do you keep anything in the car to get rid of that smell?
Yes. So I have like a plethora of options for smoky, smelly homes. For me, I personally like the Febreze fabric spray when it's not a too bad home. Someone recommended, I think it's called like Smoke X or Odor Away, and it's a little bit more potent. They don't really smell that good, but it's enough to like get me by where I don't like just drown. And then I use for my hair, because it gets like just like seeps in everywhere and you just smell so bad, as like a leave-in conditioner, which I'm sure you guys know lots about.
Yeah.
It's like a leave-in conditioner, but it smells really nice. And then other people have recommended like a dry shampoo, which is nice because you just spray that on. If it's really bad, I will try and just change into the scrubs that I leave in my car. If I know ahead of time, I usually prepare because usually like I'm going in for the first visit and I don't know ahead of time. So you just walk in and you start smelling it from like 5 to 8 feet outside of the door. And I'm like, damn it. But if I know ahead of time, I can prepare myself. Sometimes I'll bring like just a t-shirt and I'll just like change into that and go into the home and then change out of it and put my scrubs back on.
I mean, so even for me, I still wear a mask sometimes, and like that smell can be like nauseating, right? So like I know like I have like little mouthwash or like portable toothbrush and stuff, because like I just feel like especially if I have like thin shave and I'm a little bit like longer, I feel like it's like sticks in there, right? So like to do that stuff at least helps me be at least clean enough to get through the rest of my day to get home, right? I mean, these are things that I don't always think about, right, as I'm going throughout my day. But I mean, it's happened enough now where it's like, wow, like like you said, you're trying to change everything. But I think, these little things to freshen us up or to make us feel as normal, as human as possible. Because I mean, what I go back to thinking is like these things are important because like we're human too. You know what I mean? Like I can't
Mhm.
do my job if I'm not feeling my best, and like I can put my best foot forward, but like if I'm smelling smoke on myself or what I mean, like I
Mhm.
don't like bringing that to somebody else. Maybe the next patient has COPD or asthma or some kind of like I don't want to be doing that type of stuff. So I think these little things are really helpful, along with the toothpaste and mouthwash. Either the toothpicks are really important too, especially since I bring my own lunch and everything, or little
Oh,
dental flosses. They're critical.
I used to bring, and I think I might, when I switched my cars, I didn't carry over everything, and I need to get back to that for when I'm like, oh shoot, I wish I had this that I had in my old car. But they have these Colgate like flosser disposable toothbrushes.
Oh yeah,
And
Oh,
yeah, and they have like a little mint thing on
that
like a
you
little
chew,
mint
you bite or
jelly
whatever, right?
ball.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
yeah.
you like break it open and you can like brush your teeth with it, and then it has
And
a
then
little
there's a
pit,
floss pick. Yeah,
so the
and then
jelly
you just
ball
throw it
thing is
away.
like toothpaste?
yeah.
It's like a
It's like
It's
a
like
toothpaste
kind of,
jelly
yeah,
bean?
but you don't have to like swish it out with water, so you're not having to like drink water and like swish your mouth out, spit out the car. You can swallow it. It's like a gel ball that breaks open, and it's like a mint refresher mouthwash.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
Yeah.
I need to
What
get
about
that.
like little accessories? Like I know we've talked to a couple folks that have said they love like the steering wheel tray for documentation and just
Mhm.
things to make that part of it easier. Do you guys ever use that?
I don't use a steering wheel tray. I know a lot of
Or
people
for
that
lunch?
do,
Would be for lunch,
and
Brendan?
but
no, not for my
I
lunch.
dictate everything, so I don't have a keyboard on my tablet. If I did have a keyboard, I definitely probably would invest in a tray so I could put it up on my steering wheel and be able to type more like ergonomically and help my neck. But I'm usually like dictating up in my tablet.
Yeah. Do you dictate, Brendan, or do you use like a detachable keyboard, or what do you have?
Used to dictate. We switched and now we have a laptop, so I'm just typing
Mm.
away.
Oh
So
yeah, Epic.
I, but I kind of get through, I would say, majority of my note while I'm in the visit because I am typing now versus being like on a tablet. So it is a little bit easier, but at the same point in
Mhm.
time, it's hard to actually hold a tablet or I'm sorry, hold a computer as I'm going through. So I try to do the best I can. Normally, I'm just put it to my our console and I'll just start typing. So yeah, I don't really use my car isn't big enough to do both of those things, right? To put like the board and then so I wouldn't do it that way, but for me, it doesn't work out. But
Yeah.
I
I
do.
also. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, so it's kind of off topic. I keep the little like car trash can,
Yeah,
like
I
a
was gonna
car
say
seat
trash can,
trash
trunk
can.
organizer. Yeah.
It's like an organizer, but it's lined with where you can just like wash. You could spray water in it and wash it out, which I really like. And it Velcro's closed. And then I actually did buy a little like chargeable mini portable vacuum. And so, like, because if you're eating in your car, I don't buy lunch. And I mean, I go buy lunch. I'm still eating in my car,
right.
and it gets messy. And so, like vacuum up the little crumbs and try and keep it a little neat in there because we're in our car so much, right? I bought little like for sunglasses, like the little you can put a couple
The
clips up
clip.
on top of your visor to put your sunglasses, like anything that's going to make it more comfortable for you in your
I,
car. I keep a little like bag of like oops I forgot stuff, like hair ties for me as a female, tampons because you just never know, um and like a little like a mini deodorant, right, when you're going to different houses. So just putting to like all these little things that you kind of forget about and would be nice to have, right,
yeah.
but you just have to get it, put it together.
Well,
It's like your
and I think the last thing I mean, I want to do is like to make a pit stop just to go and get something from the store. You know what I mean? Like if I
Right.
have so many people to see, or Dan's calling me, hey, can you do this one more eval or start a care? We need it done. It's an ortho. well, but I just went to the smoker's house and I smell and I've got my deodorant. It's like the last thing you want to kind of do. So having those things just kind of sit in your car is kind of really essential. I will say one luxury, I don't think many have this, is it's actually a cigarette lighter. You plug it in and it heats up your lunch for you. It's a lunchbox that has a heating plate on it.
Um,
So if
I
you're
like
like
all
me
those
and
hot
you tend to take leftovers or something like that, you can have a warm lunch or have a warm stew or something.
So you plug it into a USB port or a cigarette? You said like a cigarette lighter, like
So
old school?
it's an old school. The one that I had was an old school one. It was a cigarette lighter at the time, but I'm sure they have different ones now. But it was something that was handy, especially in the wintertime. When things are a little bit colder, you want something a little bit warm. It's a definitely I think the big thing, and we've talked about in other episodes, is just having these little things that keep you happy and human. We sometimes face some challenges throughout the day where it's just like, hey, I just need something to ground me again, right? And having a good meal or something a little bit warmer can do that for you. And I mean, Lisa, you were just mentioning other things, being able to brush your teeth, being able to, use deodorant, things like that. You just like, hey, not that we're smelly, not that we always have bad breath, but like these are things that make us feel normal again. So
we should, what we should do is run a poll, a Care in Motion poll, and find out what we have not thought of, and take all of these ideas and put them in like one resource, and find out what everybody thinks. But I bet there's a lot of good ideas out there.
I can do that because I, learn a lot from people just DMing me or asking me questions because, we're just one person and Brendan's just one person. There's so many of us clinicians out there that have such good ideas and have things that they do. And I'm always for finding out something that's going to make my life easier or better, especially when I'm working. So I'll post a poll and see kind of what everyone has out there or what you would want.
And I mean, look at just us right now, Lisa. I said, hey, I need to pack my lunch and have a big water bottle. And you're like, no, I'm the opposite, right? So I think everybody, I mean, there are, I think, a generalized group of essentials that we all need, but then there's also probably other things that some of us do need, some of us never thought about needing, you know what I mean? And it makes a huge difference. I know, the trash thing, just for a little side topic, is, I have people that said they've gotten yelled at for throwing their trash out in the patient's garbage can or stuff, right? So like having that out is important because it prevents you from getting into trouble or doing silly, things that could lead to other problems that you don't need just trying to have an efficient day. So yeah, I think it'd be great to share and see what feedback we get from others.
And we gotta remind everybody. So if you go to careinmotion.co, we're building a shop, and we do have we got the trunk organizer out there, not the trash bag. The trash cans are good. Some of these ideas are things that we should like pull all together into the shop, so you got a place to go. But definitely check it out. Well, this has been fun. I think there's just so many different ideas, and it's like you guys are like just basically driving around in a mobile office. You need to get like a minivan, Lisa. That's what you need.
I got one of those. It has a TV in the back too. It's great. I can live out of that thing.
Well, thank you guys for all the input. Dan, we miss you. And as a reminder, check out Care in Motion on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn now too, pretty soon TikTok, and sign up for our weekly newsletter. And check out careinmotion.co to see all of the different resources that we pulled together for everybody out there who's a road warrior day-to-day, spraying deodorant, dry shampoo, heating up, meals, finding bathrooms in wherever you got to find them. So thanks.
Chugging gallon-sized water bottles.
Chugging gallon-sized of water, like having roadside emergencies. I can only imagine.
Share with us. Let us know what you think.
Yes, absolutely. Join the poll. Thanks for putting it together, Lisa, and see you guys next time.